This video demonstrates two ways to do patterns of component patterns. So if we want to add washers and bolts to all these holes in these frames, the first method we could use is I'm just going to drag this washer onto the hole here. This is a reusable component. And I'm going to set the constraint or the positioning type to inferred only. And we could say create component pattern and it would automatically add them to all three holes, but just to show kind of the full process, I'm not going to use that and say okay. And then I'm going to do the same for the bolt. I'm going to drag it to the washer hole and just middle mouse to okay there. So we got our first bolt. And so now if we select our washer and bolt and we do pattern component, and we're going to use layout reference here, and then we'll select those holes for the pattern and then middle mouse to choose our base instance, which is the starting point. And we'll choose that instance right there and middle mouse to OK. So we've got our first set of hardware populated, but now we need it patterned to these other three legs. So what we do there, we can just box select, get those hardware, do pattern component again. And in this time, we'll actually do a circular pattern. We'll select this axis. And for our, if I make that constant, for our count, I've actually got an expression leg count. And so that's also driving the weldment with the legs. So anytime that updates, this pattern will update and also the number of legs will update. And we'll just middle mouse to OK. So there we've got all our washers and bolts in that first component there, or that first frame. And now we'll show another method over on this one. This method takes a little more setup, but we'll demonstrate later that it's more robust. So to start with, for this foot, I'm going to replace the reference set with entire part, and I'm going to do a wave link, and I'm going to bring in that sketch that has the points for that hole. So I'm going to select that sketch, middle mouse to OK, and then now we're done with that. So we'll just replace the reference set back to model. So now we have points at this foot for those hole locations, but we need them at the other 3 feet. So we'll use a pattern geometry, and we'll select the sketch to pattern. And then instead of general, we'll do circular. For our axis, we'll select the Z axis. And again, we're going to use that leg count to drive the number. And we'll just say okay. So now we have points at all those locations. But the key is here we actually want one pattern with all those points instead of, one sketch and then a pattern with the other 3 legs. So what we'll do is we'll add an axis, and we'll do just a point and direction. So I'll select that point from the sketch. I'll select this direction, then I'll flip it and then say okay. And now we'll select that axis and we'll do a pattern geometry. And in this case, we'll use a general layout. It's a very powerful type of pattern if you're not familiar with it. So the from point is going to be that first point of the sketch there. We'll select that. And for the 2 points, we're actually going to select feature points, and we can just select them over in the part navigator. We're going to select that pattern we did. So we'll get that pattern, and we'll also select the initial sketch. So we've got 12 points showing, but we're actually putting an axis on top of an axis here. So we want to come in and use our quick pick here. We're going to select that pattern geometry destination and then right click, and we're going to say delete. That's just so it doesn't create another axis on top of the one that's already there. And then we middle mouse to OK. So now we have an axis at each of the holes. And so we'll go back to our reuse library. We'll add our washer in. And in this case, instead of inferred for positioning, we're going to use by constraints. Middle mouse to OK. And this has remembered constraints in it. So we'll select this axis and we'll select this face and say OK. And then we'll do the same for the bolt. Middle mouse to OK. Axis, washer face, middle mouse to OK. And I'm going to go ahead. We can actually hide all this stuff over here that we created. Now that we have that first bolt, we'll just select the bolt and the washer. We'll do pattern component again, and we'll go back to reference for our type. And in this case, we're going to select that pattern of those axes we did. So we'll select that pattern, and the base handle is our initial point there. Actually, let me deselect the base handle just to make a point here. So if I hover over that and actually do the quick pick, notice there's two instance handles. There's the 0, 0, and there's a 11, 0. We want to make sure to select the 0, 0, or this pattern won't work. That 11, 0 is the one we actually deleted, so it didn't have the axis on top of the axis. So I'll select 0, and notice the washer and bolt stack goes to all those locations immediately. So why spend the extra time on that? So if we'll update our leg count. So let's say we go to 6 legs. So say apply there, and notice right away we get the bolts and washers we want at all those locations. So why do that second method? So it is more robust. So if we come into this part here, we edit this sketch and we change the number of bolt holes. So there's points for the bolt holes. I'm going to change it to 4. Notice what happens. We say okay, we're going to finish our sketch and then make the displayed part the work part. And this pattern updated with the 4 bolts, but notice all these other legs just have 3 bolts still. And so in that case, you would have to remember to go back and edit that circular pattern, and we have to add these new components to that. So if you have, a very complex assembly, that might be easy to overlook. You forget to add those in. And so that could be one drawback. Notice with this other method, it automatically picked it up because the pattern's in here and it's referencing features, the feature points. And so there's one pattern driving all positions. And so then another thing, if we go back, let's say now we decided, no, we actually just wanted 3 bolts instead of 4. We'll edit that sketch again. We'll edit the pattern and we'll go back to 3 and say okay. And then when we finish our sketch, notice we get a warning. 1 or more instances of the pattern being modified are used as master components for another pattern. They will not be deleted and will exist along with newly created instances. So basically it's telling us we reduce the number of holes, but the bolts that were there before are still left. So we'll say okay, and then we'll make the displayed part the work part. And so notice those extra bolts that we no longer have a hole for are hanging out there. So we'd have to go in and delete those, which we could do, but it's again more work. And again, notice over here, it just automatically did what we want. So even though this one took more setup time, it may be worth it in cases where, it's a complex assembly. You're putting in a lot of hardware, patterning a lot of hardware, and you don't want to think about it anymore. It might be worth setting it up that way. And so just for one final thing, we'll change our leg count to 8. And we'll say okay. And notice this one over here is all good. This case it's all good, but we still have those washers and bolts that we didn't go back and delete that we'd have to go in and fix. So there's 2 methods to do patterns of a double pattern, we'll call it, pattern of a component pattern. The first method to get you by if there's not going to be any changes, or if you're pretty sure there's not going to be. But the second method might be worth it if you're not sure about the number of legs, the number of bolt holes, that kind of stuff. You could set it up so that future updates it'll just update automatically and you don't have to think about it anymore.